So this one worked out kind of slick. Probably a good thing because I was working with a lot of dollars worth of parts. Just over 600 horse, 540 cubic inches. He wants to be able to drive this thing around. It likes to get warm, so we've been working on fixing an overheating problem. He has a 3-core, I think it's a Champion radiator in here. And there was different concoctions of cooling fans hooked up, and it still wanted to get hot real quick. At low speeds, fine on the highway, but once you get in town traffic, it wants to get hot. So we're looking for some good cooling fans, and I come across these Dural, I'm not sure how you say that. Found lots of fans that were 2,500, 3,000 CFM in that ballpark. These ones here worked out to 4,000 CFM. That would be slick, but we had a very tight space here. I measured from the rad to the crank pulley. I had 3 3/8 inches, something like that. Crank pulley, water pump pulley, not crank. And that kind of made choices very, very limited for cooling fan options. Now these fans, they showed a 4 inches for the maximum height. Kind of shows here, I guess. 4 inches to the end of the fan motor, and the shroud is only 2 3/4. So I figured I would be able to make this work because I figured that water pump pulley would sit right in between these fans. Not realizing these fans are actually very close together. I think they had another one that had a little bit smaller diameter fans. There would have been more room there. But this is what I found, and that's how it turned out when I got them here. And I figured it would have your generic fan here where that motor sits up fairly tall, and that would be the 4 inches, so there'd be lots of room here, I figured. Well, it wasn't the case. It turned out that these fans are kind of mounted kind of goofy. The whole housing sits out. So it did not fit just sitting on this rad. So what I ended up doing, every fraction of an inch counts. So I took off about a 1/4 inch on the top and bottoms both of the shroud. What that did is it let it sit down nicely onto the weld. Turn my phone the wrong way here. Sit down nicely on the weld all the way around, as well as down on this end. It sat down and flush in there quite nicely. So then I just kind of ran some self-tappers through the side there. Worked out kind of slick, I think. Doesn't look too terrible. So that gained me about a 1/4 inch more of space there from where it was sitting, but it still was not enough. So I made myself a little template of the water pump pulley, and I found my centers on the shroud. And what I ended up doing was I actually notched this all out for clearance in here for that water pump. And that would work all fine and dandy, but you wouldn't be able to slide this thing in there. So I actually took and I made, so we can get a better angle here. I cut it all out so there's actually a channel here. You can slide everything assembled right up in there, all in one shot. And these have a nice rigid frame right on the inside, so it didn't sacrifice any strength or anything. Still nice and solid. So I'll drop this in here and see how it worked out. Alright, so we got this thing dropped back in here. I have it just sitting with a couple bolts. But you can see very nicely here. Maybe you can see in the phone. It's better light. That pulley, nice clearance there. You can kind of see the bolt head, but she's clearing everything. And it sits right into those fans. And because of my slot up the bottom side, lights are always terrible. Because my slot right up the bottom side there. Here we go. Able to slide the whole assembly right down into place. And yeah. I think that turned out quite nicely. Doesn't look terrible. Nice clean fit. Yeah. I like it when a plan comes together. That would have sucked if it didn't, because that fan assembly was not cheap. So now I can go and wire up some relays. Trigger 1 and 2 fans with the sniper unit that I put on here. Nice shiny TTI headers. Those headers, I tell you, they are the nicest fitting headers I have ever installed. TTI is, they know how to build something. Yeah, so hopefully get this thing done here and gone.